You know where to hide, boys. This is the
First fight, epic. One of the best fights I've ever seen. Just unbelievable.
two naughty geezers having it large. Reach!
I think the rematch is going to be even better.
And this place has just become electrified.
Had to be stopped, really. You know, he had a free shot.
The stop, it's proper controversial.
South of Bulla, well out of order. I think Groves is going to win the rematch. He's hungry, he's young, he's ready for it.
Carl Froch will win the fight against George Groves. Funny one, funny one, funny one.
I'm just going to say George Groves because he's a Chelsea fan.
Sorry, Carl. Everyone's got their opinion, everybody's split. This fight's really branched out into the casuals.
They're talking about this in every department here at Sky, the football, the rugby, the cricket, even polite animal crafting. Tennis is looking forward to it.
She's excited too.
I'm really excited.
She's super middleweights who are primed and ready physically. But how much of boxing is a mental tussle? Andy Scott explores the psychological warfare. We warn you, there are flashing images in this report.
This is it. Everything for a reason.
Thank you, George.
Mind games. Attempting to gain a psychological edge is commonplace in all sports.
There's fear to fail.
You know, he is a specialist in failure. I'm not.
I'm embarrassed for him, honestly.
There's always banter on the cricket field.
Get ready for a program.
It's good banter. There's always good banter between us and England.
Anyone who says they've never been affected by sledging, I think, is lying. With a build-up that's included arguments with family members, Rubik's Cubes, and plenty of bitterness. Eddie, how are you, boy? Have Carl Froch and George Groves taken psychological warfare to a whole new level?
There's no doubt that they've really ramped it up this time. I think George had a plan last time, so he's really turning up the heat this time.
He didn't want to take this fight. He's been forced to take this fight. I think that's round one to me. For Groves, this is nothing new, having shown the ability on numerous occasions to get under the skin of his rivals.
Are you going to stand and fight me in round one? Listen, I'm with George Groves. Let's have a fight round one.
Can't stand the guy. I really can't.
That little idiot was on YouTube making videos, pathetic, stupid videos, calling me out. And I'm ignoring Mr. Idiot Boy. I'm just ignoring him.
The guy irritates me saying stupidly, mate. I don't know who he thinks he is.
How clever is George Groves, in your opinion?
I think he's really bright. I think he's really intelligent. But what you can see from this public persona is that somebody who's incredibly confident in his own ability, somebody who's prepared to tell Carl Froch exactly what he's going to do. I think also he likes to be in control. He likes to make his own decisions.
I'll tell Froch exactly what I'm going to do at the press conference. That's a promise. I'm going to come out, I'm going to meet you, centre of the ring, first round, and I'm going to win the jab exchanges, and I'm going to hit you with two right hands. Just two. Just to let you know, whenever I want, I can hit you with a right hand.
There's no question that George prepares for these head-to-heads, so he knows how he wants to present himself. He knows that he wants to appear confident, and if you prepare for anything, you can show any side of you that you want. The timing of picking up the Rubik's Cube when Carl started speaking, I thought was quite significant, almost trying to say that no matter what Carl had to say was of no significance to him whatsoever. I think Carl has made a decision to try and not engage. The longer they spend in each other's company on a particular day, the harder that becomes for him, and he just can't control himself anymore and gets somewhat irritated.
He's getting warmed. Simple as that. I don't know what to say. I can't argue with him. It's just...
You can't argue with him because it's embarrassing. As soon as I ask you something, you fall to pieces, Carl.
Yeah, I think Carl's quite a complex character. He's developed this persona as a warrior through all of the tough title fights that he's had. But when you look at him talking about his diaries, how he always wants to improve on those for each fight, when he talks about his legacy, he comes across as somebody who really needs that reinforcement of just how good he is. Now that actually is quite a good thing, because it means that little bit of doubt will drive him in his meticulous planning and preparation for every fight.
this is it. Everything for a reason. Everything for a reason. Everything for a reason. And I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to be sick to death of hearing that, but everything for a reason.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting phrase. I mean, to me, it's just a mantra. I think George obviously feels really hard done by with what happened in the first fight, and there's quite a lot of negative emotion could be ascribed to that. So this idea of everything for a reason takes away all those negative emotions.
Boxing is littered with results, which undoubtedly have been affected by pre-fight mind games. This fight right here is going to show the world who's the boss. Danny's the boss. I will knock Danny Garcia out. I will win the world title. I'll hurt him. I'm going to hurt his son. So the question lies, is George Groves trying to get under Carl Froch's skin, or is he already there?
Fascinating, Big.
Really fascinating. George, I saw you smiling at that one piece there. Has he got it right?
Yeah, well, to a certain degree, I agree with a lot of the stuff that the chap said. He talks about Cole doubting himself, and I agree with that. I said that before the first fight, that he has insecurities, that he seeks reassurance. He's telling me that members of my team were telling him that I was going to win, and that everyone's spreading rumours I'm getting knocked out in sparring, and he just needs to feel loved, maybe. He just needs to be told constantly, you're doing well, you're doing great. But ultimately, we watched the Khan Garcia footage there, and there was big build up. Garcia threw a left hook, and Khan left his chin out, and he got knocked out for it. So, mind games aside, technically, Khan probably was going to get knocked out that day because Garcia is a great left hooker, and Khan leaves himself exposed. Just like when I box Carl Froch, whether he's mentally on his A game or whether he falls to pieces, he's still not going to be quicker than me. He's still not going to have better movement than me. He's still not going to have a better defence than me. I'm still going to hurt him every time I hit him, you know. And it doesn't matter whether he's on song, whether he trains harder than ever, whether he does more miles, whether he overtrains, whether he undertrains, whether he feels good in himself. It still makes no difference to the facts of the technical breakdown of each of us. And he's out of his depth. He can't win, and I think everything he's doing now in the build-up to this fight is for acceptance. So he's accepting that he can't win this fight. He understands he can't, but the acceptance is confident enough to get the training done. You know, he's in a big fight. He's going to earn a lot of money. He's going to retire after he loses. But if he can be satisfied in the build-up to this fight, then, you know, at the end of the day, he loses, he's in the fight, he knows he can't win anyway.
Carl, I'm listening intently. You seem to be handling it a lot better than you did the last time you two met here on the side.
Thank you. Good observation. Do you want me to elaborate?
Yeah.
Well, I am. I'm in a much better place.
Is anything that he can do in the next 4 weeks going to get under your skin anymore?
Potentially, but he's not going to do anything, is it? There's certainly nothing he can say that's going to wind me up. It's impossible.
You got any other tricks, obviously?
I don't need to wind Carl up. I never wound him up the first time he wound himself up. If he wants to wind himself up this time, so be it. This is his fight, isn't it? It's his fight now to hold it together. Just hold it together. Look, it's on your face, Carl. We can see it now. You're on TV. You're on TV, Carl. Hold it together, my friend. Hold it together. Don't cover your face. Best wishes, Carl. Best wishes.
Let's just bend it back out. Let's get some questions from the audience. Where's Jack Pudding? But Jack, you've got a question.
Yeah, how's the preparation going? Is it much different from the first fight? Also, Carl, can I get a lift home in your helicopter on the way out?
It's not mine. That's a boring question. How's preparation going? That's what everyone asks. And you always get the same answer. Preparation's going
Changes from the first
fantastic.
fight.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I mean, I'm staying away from home. I'm based in Nottingham. I live in Nottingham, but I'm predominantly based up in Sheffield now, training up there 5 days a week, which is great. You know, it's having a positive effect on my game.
Yeah, training's going great. I've always tried to be a fighter who can change and adjust and add more strings to his bow, like fight on fight, depending on who I'm boxing. You know, I'll find a way to win. I've never got drawn into being the same fighter year after year, and I feel that's what Carl is. So, you know, after 10 years as a pro, or however long it's been, at his ripe old age of 36, it's going to be tough for him to make any changes or adjustments.
It's worked quite well for me there.
So what are you doing different,
Quite
Carl?
well for me.
Well, you said you changed your training location, but what type of training are you doing differently?
Well,
Are you going to be quicker?
Are
Are you going to cross your feet when you punch? Are you going to
Hopefully not, no.
Are you going to hold your hands up?
Bad mistake in round one last time. Crossed my feet, came on square on.
Are you going to be quicker? Are you going to hit harder?
I'm improving on the speed, yeah, slightly. I'm picking up the speed, so the quickness will come with that.
No, and I'm sure you believe it, and I hope to God you
I'm not
are.
answering any questions.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not, am I?
No, I'm just anymore. So we've covered the speed, so I'm going to be a bit quicker. Anything else?
Lucy's got a question. To Carl.
Yeah, I was just wondering, has your respect for Bros grown since he...
As a fighter, we've had this question, I've had a million.
Yeah,
As a
since the
fighter,
first
yes, it's
round.
gone up dramatically. I've got a lot more respect for George Groves as a fighter following our first encounter. Do you respect Carl?
Yeah, I respect Carl, you know, as what he brings to the table. I'll prepare for the very best Carl Froch. I don't think we'll see it. And I respect him for promising me not to pull out. That's about as much respect I've got for him right now.
I've gone from Tristan to Carl. Where's Tristan? Just following your last fight, obviously George was the underdog. After the fight, you sort of mugged him off a bit, and knowing now that some of your fans have jumped ship and they're now George Groves fans, how do you think that's going to affect you going into the ring at Wembley?
It won't affect me at all going into the ring, because I'm just fight focused. I'm too experienced to let something like that bother me, basically.
I've got a question from Ryan Rose, former British and European middleweight champion.
First of all, congratulations to all three of you. Really, you've pulled a fantastic show off. Eddie, Matchroom, done a great job. Carl, George, you've done your job, and you've only done your job for one reason, because of your dislike to each other. What started the very first fight?
I can start this one. Ryan, honestly, I don't dislike him. I don't like him.
Christmas list?
No, but like, there's lots of people who ain't on my Christmas list. I don't like him, I don't dislike him. I have nothing towards him. No emotion whatsoever. No emotion towards Teddy. Just business. I'm boxed on a rival promoter show still. Okay, he's in a fight that Carl can't win. He's got to come to London for it. You know, there's many things in my favour, but I'm not fueled by emotion for this fight. It's just business. Like,
Carl?
But in the first fight, I genuinely didn't think that George Groves deserved to be in the ring with me. As you know, the fact that he'd not fought anybody ranked in the top 15 in the world, I'd been fighting at such a high level, world title defence after world title defence. So I wanted to fight a Chavez or a Golovkin or a rematch of Andre Ward following the Mikhail Kessler fight. I just felt that it needed to be bigger and, you know, a bigger, more meaningful, juicy fight. And it turns out that it gave me a great fight, and, you know, it does belong at this level because he's proven that he gave me a tough fight, albeit, you know, I got the win and I did the job in the end. It was a great fight for as long as it lasted, and it was a close encounter. So I think the first, to answer your question, the hatred started when George was being really disrespectful and playing down my performances and, you know, sort of writing me off. And I just thought to myself, hang on a minute, I'm world champion, I deserve a little bit more respect. And that's where it came from. But, you know, there's nothing you can say or do now. There's nothing you certainly can say that's going to get under my skin. So
I don't agree with everything you're saying there, Carl, because he said it was a fight that he fought. He wasn't up for it. But straight away after the fight, his trainer, Robert McCracken, said it's a fight they didn't want. It's a fight that it was going to be hard for him. And he said that post-fight, the after-fight press conference, he said it.
He seemed to cling on to that little detail, so just hold on to it, because he did say that, yeah. Why did he say it? You'd have to ask him.
Why did he say that? You know better than me. Why did he say it? Why did he not want the fight?
I've not asked him.
You haven't asked him that question?
No.
He needs to start having some more in-depth
I don't
discussion
need
with
to
the
know.
trainer then.
You need to know.
What do I need to know that for?
You keep asking everyone.
I'm not asking, I'm telling. I'm not asking, I'm telling.
You're asking.
I'm telling.
You're saying why? That's an ask. That's a question.
If he said, I'm asking why would he say that?
No,
Because
so you
it
are
doesn't make
asking
any
now.
sense.
Are you asking or telling? Which one? If you're asking, I can give you his number. You can ring him.
Tick tock, time out. If you missed out on your question, and thanks guys for those, there is another opportunity. I'll be with Carl and George on Friday where they'll be ready to answer more. They're still going at each other. Go to the Sky Sports Facebook page for your chance to get involved. Now, both the fighters are former ABA champions and will be tuning in to our exclusive action from England's elite amateurs.
Good action, both of them trading punches. Great left hand there from Charlie Edwards. It's still the ultimate competition in English amateur boxing. Every fighter dreams of being ABA champion. But they go at it again.
Off with the footballers coming next Monday. That's a really good one, so look out for that. Plenty lie ahead over the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm just wondering, are we possibly going to get a handshake out of you two guys? We're still at it. Let's start. Handshake before.
Handshake at the first press conference. Tony's back on me.
That was a long time ago, George. Come on, let's move on.
Alright, how long ago? 4 weeks ago? The press conference in Wembley?
4 weeks, a long time. 28 days.
Can we get a handshake, boys?
A handshake or not?
I'll shake my hand. I'll shake your hand.
Yeah. Hey.